My wife snapped. I only went to a hotel with my ex because he needed to use the restroom. If you don't trust me, maybe we should get a divorce. I replied, you're right. A few days later, after that phone call, she kept calling me in tears, but by then her voice felt like a distant echo, something I used to respond to instantly but now barely recognize because something inside me had already disconnected the moment she weaponized that line, the moment she tried to turn her lie into my guilt. My name is Daniel, I'm 34, and for 4 years I truly believed my wife, Rebecca, was the safest person in my life, the one who knew my quirks, my routines, my hopes, my pressure points, and still chose me daily, or so I thought. We had our little traditions, pancakes on Sundays, movie nights every Friday, long drives when either of us felt overwhelmed. We'd lie in bed imagining names for kids we didn't have yet, looking at houses online, arguing about paint colors, and laughing about whose parents would be the worst to have nearby. It wasn't perfect, no marriages, but it felt grounded, secure, until the day her ex, Tyler, drifted back into town like some ghost from a chapter she claimed she closed. At first, I didn't feel threatened. She told me casually, swirling her wine after dinner, Tyler's back for a consulting gig. He wants to catch up. Nothing crazy. I shrugged. Everyone has a past. But catching up became lunch, then weekly coffee, then late-night project discussions about a freelance task I never actually saw. She'd dress a little nicer for those meetings, wearing a perfume she hadn't used in years. And when I joked, "Damn, if I didn't know better, I'd think you were going on a date," she laughed too loudly and said I was ridiculous. But I wasn't blind. She started locking her phone, taking calls in the other room, turning off notification previews. And whenever I asked who she was talking to, she'd say, "Just work stuff, relax." She said, relax, like it was a command. Our intimacy faded too, slowly at first, then abruptly. Date nights became something she rescheduled. Our baby plans, once exciting, suddenly became too rushed. She said, "I'm not ready anymore. I need to focus on me." Strange timing, considering she had spent years convincing me we should start a family before I hit 35. Eventually, there came a day when she got home late with her blouse slightly wrinkled, hair messy in a way that didn't match office dress. And when I asked if everything was okay, she snapped, "Stop interrogating me." I wasn't interrogating. I was begging for honesty without using the word beg. Then came the photo, the moment the illusion shattered. My friend Alex texted me, "Bro, you okay?" Saw something weird downtown. And when we met later that night, he showed me a blurry photo of Rebecca and Tyler walking into a hotel together. Not rushing, not frantic, no restroom emergency. Just two people moving with familiarity. My stomach sank, not because of the betrayal itself. That part one had been bracing for subconsciously, but because she had made me doubt myself for weeks, making me feel paranoid for noticing what any reasonable person would have seen. The next night, when I confronted her, she didn't deny it. She didn't cry. She didn't apologize. She just exploded. He needed to use the restroom. Stop overreacting. If you don't trust me, maybe we should get a divorce. She expected me to back down. She expected me to panic. She expected the old version of me, the man who bent over backwards to keep peace even when he wasn't the one disturbing it. But instead, something in me clicked into place, calm and heavy like a final puzzle piece. So I said, "You're right." And the way her face dropped, like she had thrown a weapon expected to hit me, only for it to ricochet and land at her feet, was the moment I knew things were over. Not in a dramatic, slamming doorway, in a quiet, inevitable way, like a tide pulling back before the ocean shifts. That same night, after she stormed off to take a shower and slam cabinets, I accepted the London transfer my company had offered twice before, the one she talked me out of each time, because she could never live abroad. Funny how quickly the word never becomes meaningless when trust collapses. I packed lightly. A few clothes, essential documents, my laptop. I left behind our framed photos, the wedding gift we never used, the pieces of a future that died long before either of us admitted it. In the morning, she tried again, not to apologize, but to gain control. "You're being dramatic. What are you even doing?" she demanded. I simply said, "Leaving." By the time the relocation team scheduled my flight, she had officially entered panic mode. She posted some long, dramatic Facebook essay about how I abandoned her for my secretary and chose career over love. Friends messaged me asking what happened, but I didn't bother defending myself. Lies collapse on their own, and collapse they did faster than I expected. A woman named Lauren messaged me that week. She wrote, "Hi, Daniel. You don't know me, but I'm Tyler's girlfriend." I blinked at the screen, already feeling the universe tightening the loose strings. She sent screenshots of their messages. Same hotel as last time. He's asleep. LOL. I think Dan's suspects. Seeing it laid out, her laughing about me, treating my trust like a joke, hurt less than I expected, because I had already begun grieving her the moment she tried to weaponize divorce to shut down a conversation. The fallout hit her hard. Lauren sent everything to Rebecca's workplace. Her firm launched an investigation. She was suspended. Tyler lost his job for misusing funds. And Rebecca called me crying, screaming, demanding to know why I would ruin her life. I told her simply, "I didn't ruin anything. You did." Then I boarded my London flight. First class. Champagne. Window seat. The plane lifted off, and with it, something inside me unclamped. In London, everything felt different, not perfect, but clean. A fresh slate. My new apartment had tall windows overlooking the Thames, the kind of view that humbles you, reminding you how small your past problems really were. I worked closely with a woman named Samantha, my team lead, smart and steady, and nothing like the chaos I left behind. She didn't ask intrusive questions or treat my pain like gossip. She just did her job, occasionally offering quiet company when she sensed I needed it. One night, after we finished a long project, we walked along the river, and she asked softly, "Do you miss her?" I took a long breath. The air was cold, crisp in a way that felt like clarity. "I miss who I thought she was," I said, and that was the truth, not the woman who lied, cheated, manipulated, but the one I loved before I realized she only loved being adored. As months passed, I found myself healing in ways I didn't expect, slowly, steadily, like muscles relearning motion after an injury. Samantha and I grew close, not in a rushed or dramatic way, but in a natural, steady rhythm. She held my hand one night in Paris during a work trip, and it felt peaceful, not like replacing something, but like discovering a part of myself I'd forgotten existed. Meanwhile, Rebecca emailed occasionally. Apologies, regrets, paragraphs filled with nostalgia she suddenly remembered. I didn't reply, not out of bitterness, just closure, real closure. One morning, sipping coffee as the sun rose over London, I realized I didn't hate her. I didn't even resent her. I just didn't know her anymore, and maybe I never did. And sometimes that's the most painful truth. The person you fought hardest was never fighting for you. So if anyone ever hears the line, "If you don't trust me, maybe we should break up," don't argue. Don't beg. Don't cling to the version of them that exists only in your memory. Just breathe, look them in the eyes, and say, "You're right. Life will take care of the rest."